All right, let's get right into it here. Looks like the rising resistance is the one where you can see the market stalled towards the end of the day today. Yesterday, we talked about the fact that the micro-term moving average is the one that bulls need to reclaim. So as you can see, this is where we closed yesterday with these shooting star soda-like candles with the upper wicks here. Today, it looks like we slightly gapped up and it faded on the first hour. We see the lower wick. However, my short-term moving average in that vicinity looks like there's a dip buying activities that occurred. And finally, when we did see that micro-term moving average getting reclaimed on the second hour, market did make that move to the upside. Perfect. Second hour, third hour, fourth hour, fifth hour, sixth hour. It's not a coincidence. It's not a mistake. It's not a random occurrence. When the market rallied to the upside, it slowed down just right on this rising resistance. There you can see a high wave spinning top candle there. Pretty much looks like the 420 prior resistance here acting as new support. And so we pretty much stuck between the rising resistance and the horizontal pivot there. So that's kind of where we close. So going into tomorrow, it looks like bulls are preparing to break above this level. Keep in mind, as you can see in the past, this resistance level has been very difficult to break. But you have to understand, when these big declines were happening, remember that 420 island down gap was not fully filled. Remember, Boss Bear's command center was still there, and you see how fast we saw these downturns, these bear troops coming down, showing the bulls quite heavily. When we did get up and hit that resistance here, that down gap, when that down gap happened, this market tanked for like 2 weeks straight and retested long-term moving average. Market shot right back up. We gapped down below the micro-term. Again, it's been gapping down below the micro-term. You can see right here. Gap down below the micro-term. Gap down below the micro-term. Gap down below the micro-term. Guess what happened yesterday? Gap down below the micro-term. However, how come this time around we did not see price completely tanking? This time, actually, price came all the way down below the long-term moving average. Bulls got back up here. Again, down gap, tanked, right? Below the long-term moving average. Exact same setup where market goes right back up, comes down. We see a down gap below the micro-term, but this time around, we're not seeing that tankage like we've seen in the last 3 occasions. Instead, we find support in the short term. We reclaim the micro term. We get right back up to that rising resistance. Why? Because as I've explained a couple days ago, when the Boss Bear's command center was dismantled, this area is no longer a huge threat to the bulls. The firepower isn't quite there.
It's been a long time and you got hell to pay. Ain't no love, ho. Just bring it through the door. I fall none, let my nuts hang to the...
So as you can see, once that Boss Bear's command center, that 420, 422 island down gap was fully filled, it making a way for the bulls here coming and retest that rising resistance. You can also think about it this way. Look at the spacings in between. It took a while. Sometimes it takes couple weeks to maybe even several weeks before bulls can have to get back up to that resistance, right? This one maybe week and a half or so. We got there just in 2 days. This is the first time since this entirety of this fiasco, right? Dancing all around that 415, 417, 420 vicinity, that when we did hit that resistance, came back down, it only took 1 day to get back up here. Let's check out that oscillator. So with the oscillator, and this is another thing I want to tell you guys about. With the oscillator, right? not being at the top of his band, not oversold like some of the, remember, every time when we got there, either we had overbought sentiment or we're in the bearish divergence signal, right? So again, you can see when this thing got up here, we oversold here, and then we started doing bearish divergence. That's a bearish signal. We got up here, you can see it fully, extremely overbought. We got up here, overbought. We got up here, we talked about that, overbought. We got up here again, not overbought. We have at least one full day of bullish run energy remaining. Should the buyers to utilize this energy there. So if we see a follow through to the upside, and they really want to utilize this because there's so much energy left here because it's not even near overbought level. Bulls really need to use that to break above this falling resistance and then attack 427, 425. I'm gonna come back for you. We'll reassess the situation. Enjoy evening. Love trading tomorrow.